Hello and welcome to the Kanawha Valley Hustlers podcast. This is Joe Justice coming to you from Huntington at Meetup 64, and I am here with Mayor Steve. Mayor, tell me a little bit. What do you do? Tell me your hustle.
I hustle for the citizens of Huntington. I've been mayor for 12 years, and what we're constantly hustling is that Huntington is setting standards that the rest of the nation is looking to follow. But there is some leaking. It's leaking out that we are becoming a go-to city, a go-to destination.
Well, there is exciting. Every time I come into Huntington, there is some new building going up. There is a cybersecurity center or some kind of new attachment to Marshall and some new Marshall manufacturing group, all kinds of amazing stuff. Tell me a little bit some of the things that you're excited about going on.
Well, what's happening with the cybersecurity, it's really been 40 years in the making. WVU, if you look at what happened in Morgantown with WVU and all the research and development that was occurring, and then how the professors and the researchers would get into startup businesses and everything, and you just see from Fairmont, Clarksburg, and Fairmont on up to Morgantown how it's growing. That's finally happening right here. And of course, we have a new president named Brad Smith, who was the CEO of Intuit, and he's telling us how to do it from Intuit.
Yeah, and now, how big of an impact has he had since he's moved in and became the president of Marshall?
Well, anybody who meets Brad comes to realize he's something special. But he introduces himself down home as Brad from Canova.
He was born and raised in West Virginia, right?
He was born in Canova and raised there, went to Marshall, then went on and made his way up to be the CEO of Intuit in the Silicon Valley. Whenever I'm around him, I feel like I'm just getting smarter by breathing the same air.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about some of the initiatives that you've been working on and some of the new things here in Huntington.
Oh, Lozzie, we don't have enough time on this podcast, but what has happened is...
Well, let me help you narrow it down, maybe. Maybe this will help. So a lot of the people that listen to my podcast, we focus on business development. We focus on marketing, small entrepreneurs, small businesses, things like that.
Well, on economic development, right next to Marshall University, there was a factory that was built in 1872, went out of business, was closed down in around 2000. Carl Icahn was the man who owned the property out of New York, a big financier. We got hold of him and we bought the property. The city of Huntington, bought the property, and there's 100 acres right next to the university. We've torn down the factories, cleaning up the brownfields. Now, when it was developed into a railroad car manufacturer, is at the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. This is the dawn of the digital age. Right next to the university, we have the former CEO of Intuit from Silicon Valley right here with us. Huntington right now, anybody is paying attention, 7 years, no more than 7 years, Huntington is going to be seen as the gateway to Appalachia. People think of Asheville and Greenville and Chattanooga and those. Huntington is the new small city. Just recently, we got named the 17th most well-run city in the nation.
Oh, wow.
Regardless of size, the 17th most well-run city, best-run city in the nation.
And what do you attribute that to? What's going right?
Fiscally, we really have controls. The city was near a bankruptcy when I went into office, and now we have a $25 million surplus.
Wow.
We did it by cutting taxes on retail, eliminated business taxes on retail, eliminated it on manufacturing, and cut it in half on service businesses. And guess what? We didn't lose revenue. Business grew.
Right.
And we ended up getting more revenue. And as a result, we've increased our budget from $40 million to $60 million without raising taxes. The reason that we got named the 17th best run city in the nation is that fiscally we're running the city aggressively, like a business, and encouraging folks to move into the area.
That's great. And I know as we're kind of wrapping up here, I know that you've got a new endeavor that you're embarking on. Could you tell us a little about that?
My name is Steve Williams, and I am the Democratic nominee for governor of the state of West Virginia. But don't let that Democrat designee fool you. I am a moderate to conservative mayor. As I just pointed out to you, we cut taxes in order to be able to make sure that we're growing our city, and that's what we're going to be doing when I become governor of the state of West Virginia.
That's great. Well, I want to wish you the best of luck on that. I want to thank you so much for joining. How can people find out more about you?
Go to stevewilliamswv.com, and you can see everything that you need about what I've done in the past and what we hope to do in the future.
Great. Mayor, thank you so much for joining us here today. And I want to thank you for listening and watching today. And I want to remind you, as Joe Justice, the Kanawha Valley hustler, to hustle hard, hustle smart, and hustle with a smile.